Hello and happy Friday to those of you that are tuning in today. I am Wendy Curnew Harris. I am the co-founder of Big Girl Interrupted, and I handle the very personal end of things. I am a trauma-informed life coach. I help people get unstuck from their trauma and moving past into productive lives and finding their happiness and their true authentic selves. And I'll put you over to Hazel and let her introduce herself.
Hi, I'm Hazel, and I'm the other half of Big Girl Interrupted, and I focus more on the business aspect of Big Girl Interrupted. So I help you become uninterrupted in your business. I help you shift your mindset, and so that you can show up in your business and be the business that you want people to know you for.
Perfect. And today on What's Interrupting Your Life, we have the beautiful Tamiah, which I got to say, I love your name. It's one of the prettiest names I've ever heard. We met Tamiah at a networking group, and we just knew that we had to have her on here. And I'm going to not butcher her at all, and I'm going to let her do her due diligence and introduce herself because she's got a lot to say.
Do I ever? Always. Thank you for the wonderful introduction. I love it. So basically I'm a life coach, and I am my company is called Root to Rise Empowerment. There are two other coaches who we have teamed up together. And basically we are life coaches for single women. So women who basically want to take back their power. They're ready to step into that next phase of their life, and they really want to feel the best that they've ever felt. And we have this, we call it our 3D, kind of like 3-dimensional coaching framework, because there's three of us and we kind of have these three angles. So that's who I am, what I do.
I love that. You have two boys?
Oh, yes. I do. They're 11. Well, I guess 11 and a half. And then my older one just turned 14.
Nice.
They're fun.
So before we jump into more personal stuff, I just want to, so you've just recently did a little bit of a pivot in your business, and you're now focusing directly on women, correct?
Yeah. And even more kind of, I mean, it's not that we don't help others, but single women. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So
can you tell me why the pivot?
Yeah, well, I think we just wanted to get really clear, and we want to always align with something that we are experts in. And 2 out of the 3 of us are single women. The other is happily married. But just when we got thinking about people to help, a lot of the people who attend our connection circles, a lot of people who we tend to attract, we're like, wait a minute, it's mostly single women. And it's really helping them through. And I even think myself as a friend, people, over the years, I've always coached. Even before I was a coach, I coached so many women. I mean, husbands were always like, oh God, you're not going to Tamiah's. You're going to come back and I'm getting divorced. But it's all like, I always kind of naturally helped and guided people through that transition period of when you first make that decision, maybe to separate, or the women who have gotten lost and they're just like, who the heck am I? I need to find myself again. So it's really important because we've lived it. We're still doing it, right? Everybody's still in that process. So we just like to help people and maybe skip out some of those steps that are not so fun during that time, and we make it fun and we help people. So yeah.
Amazing. That's why I love that. You guys really align with us. We do a lot of the same work. Our demographic, and knowing your demographic is extremely important. Your avatar.
Yeah. Yeah.
That will make Hazel smile that I know that word.
Yeah. Right.
So it sounds like you've done a really good job at whittling it down and really getting your core people. Not to say, like I said, we obviously, if a man came to us and was like, I would really like your help, of course, we're open to that. But knowing your demographic is really important.
And that's all.
Good job.
Well, that's kudos to Kaylee, because she's like, guys, we got to drill down more. We got to drill down. Sue and I are like, okay, we got this. So that's Kaylee and a coach that we worked with from the Netherlands really helped us.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Shout out to Ralph Bosman.
Perfect. All right. So our show is called What's Interrupting Your Life. So now we're going to jump into it and get a little bit more personal.
Ooh, I love it. Woo.
So Tamiah, what was or is interrupting your life?
I think, well, it's kind of overlapping to what I was just saying, but I'll go a little bit deeper into it. So I think what was interrupting my life was I did the whole, go to school, get a job in corporate, get married, or buy a house, get married, have the babies. Like I did that whole societal norm thing that you're supposed to frickin' do. But as I was doing it, I was losing bits of myself. And before I knew it, basically the only happiness I had in my life was being a mom and that minimal connection with my family. I had kind of distance, and not because I lived so much for my kids. It was like a lot of my friendships had faded. My marriage was a disaster. And I just kind of was like, wow. So what interrupted my life was me saying, okay, this is stupid. I am not staying in an unhappy marriage. Peace, I'm out of here. Even though I dropped my career and stayed at home with my kids and had no freaking income other than my spouse's. Even though I was just like, okay, I don't even know how I'm going to do this logistically, let alone financially. But so that interruption was impeccable. It was terrifying, but it was amazing because from that freaking moment, like I was like, okay, she's coming back. She's coming back. And I'm always like, I'm very, as you may tell, very expressive, very outgoing, super social. And if you met me, gosh, 7 years ago, you'd just be like, that is not the same person.
Right.
So I think for me, that was the interruption, but it was like a self-induced interruption because I blew the whistle, right? I'm like, nope. So, yeah, like I basically was living for everyone else except for myself. And I'm like, okay, once I get this shit done, ooh, am I allowed to swear? Once I get,
You're good.
okay, whew, I swear like a trigger. Once I get through all this, right, it was like, just get through the weeds. And then it was like, ooh, okay, she's coming back fast, like furious. Here she comes. So yeah. And now I'm back.
That is amazing. And that just goes to what Hazel and I always say. One of the things that as women, we're so many things to so many people, we get lost. And that, I mean, I don't know anything about your marriage or anything, but when we were doing our research, the over 65 divorce rate is like epidemic, right?
Wow.
And it's because we become so many things to so many people. Then all you got to look at the end is your spouse, and you don't even really know each other at that point.
No.
So good for you.
Yeah.
High, like 10. That's amazing. That is amazing. Yeah. Was there a pinnacle point when you realized that this was an interruption, or?
No, well, you know what's funny? So there was a pivotal point. I mean, there was a pivotal point when I went, okay, now I'm going to call off. So this was like 6 years ago. Like this is so distant past. It's so hard to even friggin' fathom being in that place again. But I knew as far as the marriage was that I wanted to call it off, but I was like, oh, frig, like these kids are so young. Like they're so young. And I'm like, frig, and the damned if I'm like, my parents separated when I was young, and I did not want to be that statistic because in middle school, it was like, oh yeah, if you're a child of divorce, then there's like, you have more of a likelihood of being a product of divorce yourself. And I was like, screw you, I'm going to prove that wrong. And that's just my own pig-headedness, right? But once I was like, no, I don't think that makes sense anymore. It was a conversation with one of my boys' school teachers. And it was bizarre. And I don't know how, like I volunteered, I was in there a lot, but her and I got into this really deep conversation. And in my head, I had a 5-year plan. It's like in 5 years, I'm going to call it off. The boys will be a decent age because they were literally like kindergarten and grade 2.
Right.
And after that conversation, it was something like 2 days later. And I was like, I can't do this anymore. I'm fucking out. And
Wow.
we had tried, we did counseling. I had worked hard for like 3 years leading up to this. So it's not like I just was like, oh, whatever. But I just thought, what am I waiting for? What am I showing my kids? Like, what am I teaching them by fricking staying? That's far more damaging. I want them to have one solid parent rather than two dysfunctional. And I don't want them growing up thinking that's a relationship and that's love, because that's not.
Right.
So yeah, I think that was the realization, just that one conversation with that teacher / friend who just made me go, get over it, Tam, just freaking do it. Like, rip off the Band-Aid.
And we have to do.
Sorry, go ahead, Hazel. Sorry.
No, I was saying sometimes that's just what we have to do.
Yep.
And I hope that this, I'm getting goosebumps, because we know that there's so many women that are staying in relationships just because of the kids. And you couldn't have nailed it more accurately on the head, that you're modeling to your kids that this is what a relationship is.
Yeah.
And to co-parent, and I don't know how that works for you, but parents that are able to co-parent effectively, you're going to benefit your kids so much more by being so. Kudos to you. Again, look, high 10. You're just getting all the high 10s today.
I love it.
So how long was that process of just becoming uninterrupted?
Well, it was pretty quick. I mean, I'm going to say it probably took a year to get through that initial, but you know what? Like, it's still going. Like, it's 6 years. We don't ever friggin' arrive and all of a sudden we've frickin' done it. No, like, it's still in process. It's still, we have interruptions daily, monthly, week, whatever, we always, but as far as that interruption, it was quite the it probably wasn't a year. As far as like, there was court, there was all sorts of shit that came from it. So it was probably like, only really probably about 4 years. And then, like I said, still going, but not
as intense.
Yeah. Yeah. Now it's like, cool. I am who I am. I'm here. This is awesome. Now I'm back. Now I'm growing and going, doing more and being more. And, so yeah.
Yeah.
So you found yourself again. So what an incredible thing to find yourself in the midst of what most people are going to think before they make the decision to go through it. They're going to think it's the most traumatic, the most undoable, because we catastrophize things, right?
Oh, yeah.
So you are, guys, everybody that's watching, look at this face and look how happy she is.
And I have to say, you have to follow her, because
yes.
Yeah. It's just, every morning I wake up, whatever yoga move, it's your facial expressions that really get me.
I know. I'm like, damn it, I need to marry Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
I love him. I'm like, oh, he is fantastic. And everyone's like, your faces. I'm like, why didn't I go to Hollywood when I was younger and just do it? Maybe I'll go now.
Well, a good place to start, I'm just going to put a plug in here, is TikTok. TikTok is I don't know if you're over there yet, but if you're not, that's the place you need to be.
Yeah.
I went there and I got called old and I got called ugly.
You'll get past that.
I was like, I'm sorry, who are these people calling me? And I'm like, I did not sign up for this. Delete profile.
Gen X has taken over TikTok. Go over there.
Okay, I got to go back. Those buggers.
Especially facial expressions, you'd be big. You'd go big.
Well, my kids were saying too, because they have TikTok, and they were like, oh God, Mom, don't go on it. Meanwhile, like, the other friends are like, you have to go on TikTok. Anyways, but I went on it, and like a few of my videos had like, I don't know, it was nothing big. It was like 1,000 views within a couple hours. And they're just like, what? That's just you putting your head over a car. And I'm like, I don't know. So anyways, but I don't know.
You gotta do it.
I might date TikTok again. We'll see. Ugh.
So how has your life changed? What are the major changes in your life?
Oh God. Like, since when? I feel like it's like a constant.
Since you made that decision. So you made that decision, you probably went through a grief phase of, right? There was probably some grieving. and all that stuff. Probably no, we're grieving. Good for you.
There was like, yes. Yeah. Everybody's like, oh, I'm so sorry to hear that you're getting a divorce. I'm like, no, this is where you say congratulations. Like so many people are just like, oh, congratulations. I'm like, thank you.
Nice. Well, a friend of ours had a divorce party.
Yes.
And that was so fun, actually.
Yeah. That's so cool. We went out for drinks actually at a restaurant that was local when I lived back in my old town. And one of the other teachers from the school was there, and she came over and she's like, what are you guys doing here? And we're all like celebrating my divorce.
Nice.
She was just like, oh, well, then I'm sending you a drink over. I'm like, thank you.
I will take that drink.
Yeah. Okay. So how has my life changed? Well, okay. So immensely, because I think not only physically, as in, oh God, like it's so different. I feel like I look different, but I feel different. I have confidence again. I have like my zest for life, my energy. I'm social. I'm happy. I'm outgoing. I do fun things. I'm like on the go. I'm connecting people. I'm helping. I'm just spreading good vibes. Right. And before, it was literally like, I couldn't even go out at night. I didn't have, like, I'm so social. And so before, my life was, very committed to my kids, which I loved and didn't ever resent. But I couldn't even go out for a drink because their dad was like incapable of handling 2 kids. Right. So now it's just like, oh, okay, I can go out and I can see people and I can do things and I'm an entrepreneur again. Like, it's insane. And I live in a little beach town. I've always wanted to live by the water. So I'm not right on the water, but I'm close to it. And I'm like, that's been on my freaking vision board for so long. And I was walking on the beach the other day. I go for a walk usually after my yoga every morning. And I'm walking and it occurred to me, I was like, holy shit, I've been manifesting this for years. And I'm like, it's not on the ocean, but that's okay. It's Lake Erie.
Yeah.
And that's okay for now. I'll buy my Maui property at some point. But I'm like, holy shit. Like, I'm literally walking and like, whatever. It's insane.
You're living your dream.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
You're living your dream. That's amazing.
Yeah. And helping people.
All because you decided to make a choice for yourself.
Yep.
That ripple effect then rippled onto your kids and onto this business and everything, because you made that scary choice and just said, let's Band-Aid it. F it.
Yeah.
See, look how good I did there. I said, F it. Woo. That's my win for the day.
I love it. But here's another, I'll add another, like, because you guys will be like, oh crap, this girl's story. I had another like relationship since then. So I had a boyfriend. It's like a fucking redo. So he lived with us for 4 years. And then I just called it off. Well, not just, almost a year ago now. Similar, but not. Anyways, that's like a long story. But it's like, what the hell? Why am I in this? But why am I doing this again? Why again? But it didn't take me 15 years that time. It was 4. No, but it was kind of a different, but that was part of it too. So I really had to go through that ripping the Band-Aid again. I'm like, frig. And then with that, after that, I was like, F this, I'm going to sell my house and I'm going to go live that life. So it's been quite crazy. And that was like 6 months ago that we moved here. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's crazy. It just keeps getting better. It's like those scary things that you're just like, oh God, what am I doing? Am I like, what am I teaching my kids? Am I teaching my kids that I don't know how to hold down a relationship? I don't know, whatever. And I'm like, no, I'm teaching my kids to value themselves, not to ever settle for anything less, and to go after what you effing want and to drop what you don't want, because that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
100%.
Right.
So if you, I'm going to throw a little bit of an extra question in here for you. If a woman is watching right now and we've had women that have come to our vision board parties, and that's been one of the things that's been going on in their life. I'm going to stay until my kids get old enough for me to leave. What advice do you have for that lady that's watching right now?
Please don't. Like, love yourself and love your children enough to make the move that you know. Always listen to your gut. It is always frickin' right. And the best advice, and I always tell people to do this, get a frickin' piece of paper and make your list. If I stay, these are the pros, these are the cons. If I leave, these are the pros, these are the cons. I tell you, like 90% of the time, it is crystal clear just after doing that exercise. And that's logistic. That's not even listening to your gut. Oh, here's my cat. Hey, Cricket. She's like, oh, hey, guys. But yeah,
she's very pretty.
I don't, do not hesitate if you know. And here's another tidbit to add, because I played volleyball and like half of our team, they were quite young. So they were they knew everything that was going on. I was in the midst of it. So there were a couple of them who were like early 20s, and they were like, Tam, what you're doing is freaking amazing, because my parents stayed together until I was finished high school, till I started college, and then they called it off. And they're like, we knew, like there were probably about 3 different people who said this to me in a different way. We knew the whole time that they should not be together and that they were only staying together for us. Mm-hmm. All that did was make us feel like garbage. And they're like, thank you for doing that for your kids. And I'm like, oh, that's a new twist, right? Like, don't even think of it that way. But they were just like, it. Yeah. And they were like, their friends whose parents did the same freaking thing. Don't do it. It fucks them up more. That's their words.
Oh, I agree. I agree with you 100%.
Right.
So, Miss Tamiah, what are your next moves?
Oh God. That I'm like, holy crap. So because we've started Root to Rise literally in January. So we are in growth period. So we want to keep growing Root to Rise. We want to keep helping more and more people. There is also a big vision of holding retreats, and both domestic and internationally. How fun would it be to be like, oh, we're going to hold a ballet retreat. Like, oh my God. Or Maui. Oh, I love Hawaii. So yeah. And I mean, I'm manifesting my soulmate.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yes.
I'm going to show you.
Oh, I want to see.
Okay. Because we did like a vision board, but it's a vision board, Send My Soulmate workshop.
Right.
So it was brilliant. Okay. So we, as part of the workshop that we hosted, everybody had to go and Google and find like that image of their perfect soulmate. Bum, ba, ba, ba.
Ooh.
You see him.
Wait, I'm taking my wedding rings off. Hang on.
He's looking for him.
Oh boy.
And here's my list of the characteristics.
Love it.
Pages, it's fine.
Yes.
Cute.
Very nice.
Yeah, I love that.
So I'm manifesting this. I'm also like, whatever, right? It's what's meant to be will be. So
I agree.
I'll be walking on the beach with that dude in no time.
Yes, you will. Right. Yes, you will. Where can people find you now, Tamiah?
Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn under Root to Rise Empowerment, and then also under Tamiah Johnston.
Perfect. And all of her stuff will be in the show note link.
Yes.
So it's been an absolute pleasure. I'm going to pass you over to Hazel now because she closes us out with some rapid fire questions.
Oh my gosh, so fun! I love rapid fire. Ask nasty ones. I'm so in.
Oh, I don't know if they're nasty. Okay, we love wrapping up with our rapid fire questions. Okay. And the first one is, what is one strategy that you would recommend to a woman who is currently experiencing an interruption in her life?
Ooh, meditate.
Love that.
Yes.
Do I have to expand?
No. And who's someone that inspires you?
Oh, man. How do I even pick? Can I pick 2?
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
So both of my business partners, so Sue Sedana and Kaylee McClellan, So they are different but they both inspire me in different ways. But yeah.
Amazing. That's good.
I love that.
Yeah.
I'll have to get to chat with them too. I'll have to get them on the podcast.
Oh God, you'll love them.
What's a non-negotiable in your life?
Integrity.
Love that.
Yeah. I can't.
So I've got one last question for you.
Okay.
Does Mr. Handsome Hotness six pack abs have a name? Did you name him?
No, I don't know.
Need to name him.
You think?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think we could name him? Give me some ideas.
Huh.
Right?
I'm going Brad.
You're saying Brad? I'm saying Marcus.
Brad Pitt is like my all-time favorite, so Brad is a sexy name to me. He's a Brad.
Brad or Marcus?
Ooh, Marcus is also nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't know, guys. He's Marcus.
This is how you test out your names. So in the morning when you roll over,
whatever name he shows up with is fine.
I know.
Give him a name.
Yeah, we have to give him a name. So when you roll over in the morning, because this is the power of manifestation, you're taking it to the next level. You roll over. What would you say to him if he was really there?
I'd say, let's have sex.
Okay. Yes. His name. You have to go, is it Brad? Let's have sex. Or is it Marcus? Let's have sex. Or whatever else.
Oh, I don't know.
Let's get freaky.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I don't like Brad. It makes me think of I don't know, the 80s.
So
that's okay. Listen, Brad Pitt is still a fine-looking man. That's my crush. So that's why Brad is really sexy to me. So anybody sexy is Brad.
I don't know. I think I have to Google sexy names. And
there you go. I love it.
I'll practice. I feel like he's Australian too. I just feel like he has an accent. Doesn't he look us? I don't know. Woo! So
my love, he's anybody you want him to be.
Yeah.
Gotta take a trip
you gotta start calling his name. You have to start calling his name.
Yeah, call his name.
Sorry, boys, you gotta get used to this.
Yes.
I'll be like, oh God, Mom, no.
It's been an absolute pleasure chatting with you.
Thanks so much for having me.
Oh, yes. And you know what? I can see us having another conversation somewhere down the road.
Yeah, anytime. I love to talk.
Yes. And I love your energy. Love your energy.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for having me. It was so fun.
Yes, it was.
Cool.
Have a great day. Have a great weekend. I'm about to go on vacation, so
enjoy. See you guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.